I have so much stuff. Hi, welcome back to my channel, Katie Bug Creations. I am Emily. I am Katie Bug's mom. And we have had, the last month has been a lot of stuff going on, but here we are. It's June, it's mid-June, and things are calming down and going great. Why are there so many flies in here? Oh my gosh. I know why. It's because a little boy likes to open the back door and look at whatever's going on and then shut the back door, much to our chagrin. It's always when Shane is mowing the yard and opens the door. Daddy, what are you doing? Sam, shut the door. Don't worry, we lock the door other times. It's just, yeah. It only happens when somebody's out there. So, things having calmed down means we are in for a very special treat. We're going home. We are going back to Kentucky. In the last 18 months, we have seen my in-laws twice. They came down during lulls, during one big lull in cases that we had, and then after they got vaccinated. I have not seen anybody on my side of the family in 18 months. I'm so ready to go home. I'm so ready to go home. And it's, you know, I'm ready to see my family. I'm ready to spend 2 weeks someplace that isn't Satan's armpit, okay? The heat is unbearable. It's absolutely unbearable. And what gets worse is it's entirely possible the electricity may go out because they're warning us that we may lose the grid because it's so hot and there's so much demand right now, and they have outages. So first we had hell freeze over in February, and now hell's back to normal, I guess. But we're going home. So my week this week is trying to do laundry at non-peak hours. I'm not really worried about leaving the lights off. All our lights are LED. I don't use any energy to begin with. Doing laundry, and because it would not be a trip to Kentucky without me trying to get a quilt finished, I have been quilting in the last week. So I'm gonna show that off first. I know this is a channel about cross stitch, but it's also cross stitch and other crafting. So I'm gonna show off some of my quilts. These will not bear close scrutiny. They will probably not bear too much far away scrutiny, but finished is better than perfect. And most of these are for kids. The one that's for my mom, I took more care on. So most of these are for the kids. So I made this one for Sam. So this was a jelly roll of construction stuff. And then I found this super cute border. And this is for my 3-year-old Sam. And he was so excited when I gave it to him last night. So, you know, we're gonna spend 2 days in the car. 2 solid days. It's 20 hours to get home. So, you know, kids having their own quilts, that's a great idea. You know, let them have their own quilts. This one is Katie Bugs. So of course it is pink and purple. And then this is a really neat watercolor type print. And of course, unicorns, because what little girl doesn't love unicorns? I don't remember loving unicorns when I was a little girl. I mean, granted, I was not a very girly little girl, but I don't remember being like, I don't remember unicorns being a thing. The back is also unicorns. And a really neat batik tie-dyed sort of print. So that, I had 2 yard cuts. They came in 1 yard cuts, and it wasn't big enough for the back of this quilt. So then I put this in the middle, which I think is just really cool. Katie picked it out. She didn't know it was for a quilt. She just thought it was cool. One of Katie's favorite things to do is to go to Joann's Fabrics with me and just like look. She loves quilt stores. So I got that. And part of the reason that Katie's got made out of that fabric is because I have a niece who is 5 months old, and I'm gonna get to go see her for the first time, and I'm so excited. And so she needed a baby quilt because on my side of the family, I'm the only person who does like fiber art crafty stuff. Although my sister-in-law is learning to cross stitch. But, so I did a little one for Miss Lily. And this is got stars on the back. So all of my fabric came from Joann's, except this, which I got on clearance a couple years ago. This was a 4th of July fabric at Walmart, and they had like 2 yard cuts for $2.50 on clearance. And so I have a ton of Americana fabric, which is odd because I'm not a patriotic stitcher at all. But the stars I have put on the back of so many baby quilts. So now the last quilt I have, I actually did a couple years ago, and this was for my mom, and I did this a couple of years ago. She was gonna quilt it herself. She can't really see to quilt anymore. So it got sent back with me Christmas 2019 so I could take it to the long armor. Well, we all know what happened, what 2020 was like. So I finally took it to the long armor so it would get done before we went home. And this has a story attached to it. But first, also from Joann's, all this fabric is from Joann's. So this is a log cabin. Good grief. It's also enormous, as you can tell. So it's a log cabin in these lovely, I love this quilt so much. And this one I did a really good job on. I'm not gonna lie here. I did a good job on this one. So we took it to the long armor, and I had the kids with me. And I don't know if you know anything about quilting or you watch anything about quilting on YouTube. There's a lady called Donna Jordan from Jordan Fabrics, and they're in Oregon somewhere. But she does tons of YouTube tutorials on different quilt patterns and stuff like that. So, and then at the end of the video, when she starts quilting it, she goes through and she picks her thread for the quilting, and she picks her pattern, and then she puts it on her long arm. So I take the kids to my long armors, and Katie takes over. Okay, so Katie's 5. She's almost 6, but she takes over. And she goes and, you know, the lady says, well, what kind of thread do you want? And Katie goes, blue. I said, well, yeah, blue. So she goes, she gets the blue, she gets a whole bunch of blues, and she lays them out on the quilt so we can look at them. And Katie goes, this one. She says, this one will blend in. She says, we want to see the patchwork. Okay. And, you know, it was the color I would have chosen anyway. So, but she was very authoritative, this color. So then we go and we're looking at the samples of the patchwork, or not the patchwork, the quilting patterns. And she goes through and she picks out this roses and leaves, which you can't really, you might be able to see it a little bit on the back if I get, whoop, do not spill the Diet Pepsi, Emily. A little bit close. Yeah, you can't really see it, but because, again, it blends in a little bit and you don't want it to take away from the patchwork. But she picks it out and she says, this one, it looks nice and summery. So little Donna Jordan has picked out she picked out the thread and the quilting pattern. And to be honest, I think she helped pick out some of the fabric, but she was much smaller. So there's my quilting. I don't quilt a whole lot anymore. Don't you love this back? Don't you love that backing fabric? It's gorgeous. I love it so much. Okay. All right. As long as I had the sewing machine out, now I have not finished this, but I will. I decided I should make some project bags. I don't have them finished, but I have the pieces cut out in interface because I'm using the tutorial for the regular project bag from Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch. And I found, look at this, look. I found that at Joann's. Isn't that gorgeous? I love Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast is my favorite Disney movie, and this was so pretty. And then I got this to be the lining and the accent color. So I'm gonna do that. I might do that today, I might do that tomorrow, I don't know. Because if I'm gonna go to Kentucky, I've obviously got to take stitching. Am I gonna get any stitching done in Kentucky? Probably not, but I'm gonna take it anyway. You might need a project bag. And then Shane and Katie were at somewhere and found this Beauty and the Beast fabric for me a while back. So obviously I've got a theme. And for that one, I have this as the lining and accent color. So, you know, I think that's neat. So that's my project bag. Okay, that's my sewing. Now everything else is cross stitch. So, now I don't know what I'm doing. It's time to get the book. Okay, so at the beginning of the month, I did have some problems. I cracked a Q-snap clamp again. I do that a lot. I crack my Q. The thing is I'm not actually tightening it too tight. I think it's a combination of tightening my clamp on my lap frame and is my camera crooked? There you go. Real good shot of my thumb there. Okay. So I cracked the Q-snap, which is annoying, but I have Q-snaps, obviously. And I have some extra clamps. And then I started 2 new projects. So the first one that I started, you may have seen me talk about my Carolyn Manning Shooting Star. And I was doing it in the Moonstone colorway. And I was doing it, and I was doing it, and I was doing it, and I just didn't like it. I did not like the colors. You know, I love blue. Blue is my favorite color, but it just was not working for me. And so I was watching Leanne at Small Town Stitches, and she had bought one, and it wasn't working for her. So she bought a different colorway and was doing it. And she said, well, why don't you do the same thing? Well, twist my arm, why don't you? So I started it, which it goes this way. Except there's a problem. I didn't start far enough up. Again. It needs to be up like here-ish. Okay. All right, fine. I didn't get too awful far, and I'll use the rest of the fabric for something else. I'll manage. Then I thought, well, I'm gonna start this. Now, I've had this for a while. It's been living rent-free in my head. I love this piece. I think I can put some sparkle in it. I started it. I don't know where the start is. It's just disappeared into the ether. And I started it, I started in the wrong orientation. So the piece of fabric is, once again, not large enough. So that was the start of my, well, not the start of my June, but it was from the last Flosstube video. That all happened in succession. I was just, oh my gosh, are you serious? It was just enough to make you crazy. And at the time, I was also doing my May Fly May, which I got into it, and by the time I had this going wrong, I said, screw it, I'm done. Stitch what you want when you want. But I lasted until, you know, mid-May. That's not too bad. So, then I've been working on some other stuff. And part of this stuff comes with kind of some other stuff going. I don't have a plan, as you can probably tell. Go away, fly. Gosh. Weird. I don't have a plan. This should be obvious to everyone by now. Okay. So, dead air, Emily, dead air. I've been working on some other stuff. So what have I been, let's just go, okay. So I worked on the Carolyn Manning and it didn't work. Now, you guys saw the last time I filmed something I was working on as far as these lovely ladies from Alphonse Mucha. So this is in Cross Stitch Art Nouveau by Barbara Hammett. And so I have been working on these three ladies. So I was working on the one in the middle, the pink one, because that's the one Katie wanted me to do first. So I was doing that when we last spoke, and she is finished. So I did this on 14 count opalescent Aida, so it's got a really nice little sparkle to it, and I think it turned out lovely. So I was really, really thrilled with this. Then, because it's a set of 3, I started work on the second. And this is the Topaz. No, they haven't been ironed. And as you can tell, I did a skin conversion. I used Lord Libiden's skin conversion chart and hair conversion charts to do this lady. Now, that's obviously not the way she's charted, but why did I do that? Well, because Katie came to me and said, I'm confused. I said, yeah, what's confusing you? She goes, she's a different color than the other one. I said, yeah. She goes, why? I said, well, why are people different colors? She goes, because God made people different colors to make the world beautiful. I said, well, shouldn't cross stitch be the same way? She goes, yeah. When she walked off to play. That's why. So then I'm working on the third right now. I'm working from bottom up, so you can't really tell. I'm almost done with the bottom half. So, you know, not much to see. I am going to do a skin conversion on this one too. I'm going to do kind of a mid-tone conversion. Partly because, you know, I want variety. Also, if you look at this one, I don't know if you can see it up close. Those skin tones are a little, the charting there is a little weird. With that, kind of like that stripe down the arm, and I just don't know. So I'm gonna go for kind of a mid-tone on that one. It's part of the reason I started from the bottom up is because I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do with that yet. So, all right. So I was working on that, and then I went to Harlingen, Texas, to Judy's Stitchery Nook. So Katie and I went one Saturday, and oh my gosh, it's like needle worker Disneyland. I had so much fun, and Katie had fun too. But Katie had so much fun that I went back by myself a couple weeks later because I wanted to look without having to chase a very excited little girl around. But I go the second time. So it's only the second time I've been in there. And I go in and they asked me, well, have you been here before? I said, yeah. And they realized who I was. And he goes, where's Katie Bug? I've reached that point in my life where I'm just Katie and Sam's mom. That's okay. So I did that, and I'll show off my haul in a minute. So while I was there, I got some linen and some floss to do this piece. So this is the Japanese pin cushions from Modern Folk Embroidery. And I stitched this with Classic Colorworks and Go Emerald and Little Sprout. And this is on 40 count linen from, let me see. It's 40 count linen. I think it's from Lakeside, but I'm not sure. So this is gonna go live at my friend Leah's house. I told Leah I would send it as soon as I finished my Flosstube. Leah's like, oh, okay. I have something else to talk about when it comes to Leah, but I'll get there. So I did that, and then I have been working on one other thing, and that is this. So this is Satsuma Street's Alice in Wonderland. This was a mystery stitch along, and it's now available. It's now just available by itself. I'm doing this with my friend Sarah. So, I need to take it. It's still in the Q-Snap. I'll try to remember to insert a picture. If not, you can go look at my Instagram and see how it is right now. But it's in timeout at the moment because I was working on it this morning. And you see all this white here down here? It's off by half a stitch. Where's my Kermit needle minder? Because here's the frog. Rip it, rip it, rip it. So I gotta do that. I gotta rip that out. So it's in timeout at the moment, and I'm a little miffed. Now I am doing this on 28 count Ice Blue Blue Ghana 2/2. This is what's called for, and I'm doing it with the called for DMC. So then cross stitch camp. So if you don't know what cross stitch camp is, you need to go look up Colorado Cross Stitcher here on YouTube. She has a video explaining all of it, but basically you get a project, you start at the beginning of the month, and the goal is to get it done by the end of the month. And so each month has its own theme. So June, you were supposed to do a project that had been enabled by somebody else. July, you're supposed to do something that's a new to you designer. And August, you're supposed to do a new to you fabric or floss. So I was going to do something enabled by somebody else. And naturally, I chose something enabled by my emotional support Canadian, Caroline at Off the Grid Needle Arts. She was doing a modern folk embroidery piece called the Distal Fink Heart. And, well, I loved it so much I had to do it too. So the colors are not showing up great. This fabric is 40 count linen in alabaster, so it's white. It's like white. And I did this with Leo and Roxy flosses from Caroline, because Leo and Roxy floss are sold exclusively through Caroline's shop, evertote.com. Evertotes. I'll link it below. And so I did this in 3 colors, so Steel, Cinderella, Delft, and Royale. And I did the biggest part in the Delft because look at the variegation. Isn't it gorgeous? I love this so much. So this is supposed to be a good luck charm, based on the Pennsylvania Dutch. So that's what Jacob's description at the bottom says. And I love this so much, and I can't wait to get it framed. And I'm gonna hang it in the entryway of our house. Okay. So I've been working on the pincushions that Alice and the Alphonse Mucha girls. That doesn't mean I haven't been making plans, because, as I mentioned, I went to Judy Stitchery Nook. I spent too much money at Judy Stitchery Nook, but I'm trying to say, you know, my birthday's coming up, right? My birthday's July 5th. Which brings me to my second Leah thing. So, Leah sent me an early birthday present. I get home, y'all. And this is waiting for me. Y'all, do you know what this is? It's the 270th anniversary special edition with 24 karat gold floss. I started jumping up and down. I was so excited. I didn't even know this was a thing. Apparently it comes from a couple years ago, but they still have some. Look, it comes with a little certificate of authenticity. That's how special this is. And it's got this little book that is so cool, and it talks about the history of DMC and how it came to be over the years, and how it became, you know, the needlework behemoth that it is. And it even has at the back some of the original patterns that they hired someone to do back in the early days. And I'm looking at this and I'm going, oh my gosh, this is so cool. And so now I'm like, what do I do with it? Like, do you use it? Do you keep it and just like pet it? No, I wouldn't actually like pet the box, because I wouldn't pet it. Like, is there a project out there that is so special that you would use 24 karat gold floss on? Or do you just kind of put this with your cross stitch stuff and look at it and be super excited? Like, I don't know. You'll have to tell me what you would do, because I'm still so completely just blown away by this. It's so cool. So thank you, Leah. Like, Leah is such an awesome friend, and I am just blessed to have Leah in my life. Like, I just am. So, oh my goodness. I would just, you know, it was one of those things that I got it and I'm like, oh my gosh, are you serious? I love you, Leah. Okay. So that was here when I got back from Judy Stitchery Nook the second time. Now, I've been to Judy Stitchery Nook, and I have stuff. Okay, so the first trip, I got a couple of things. So the first thing I got the first trip was this. So it is Cottage Garden samplings. This is their Songbird series, and this is one of the Christmas ones, Merry and Bright. So I got it. I have loved this one ever since I first saw it. It's just lovely. I think it's great. I bought linen for it. So this is 32 count linen from White Shield that is in the colorway Star Sapphire. It is not showing. That's probably the closest that I can get it to the right color. I think the being up against my green wall is kind of. And then I have converted the weeks that it calls for to Gentle Art sampler threads and Classic Colorworks. I think this is mostly Gentle Arts, so you can see some of the colors there. And then I think it also calls for like 310 and it calls for 310, and I'm not going to use overdyed flosses for black or I'm not going to use overdyed floss for black or white. I'm just going to use DMC for that because I don't feel like you can see enough. Then while I was there, I also bought another pattern. I could not believe that they had this. This has been discontinued for so long. And it's the Princess and the Dragon. I pulled it out and Katie was so excited. And like, I'm apparently doing it for Katie because I am, which I don't mind. I love Teresa Winsler patterns. It is just lovely. It's right up Katie's alley. And I did, on my second trip, buy fabric for it. And I bought 28 count gel blend in Summer Sky. And yes, this is large enough. I'm gonna have to be real careful not to do that thing that I do sometimes when I start things in the wrong spot. So I am gonna have to be super careful about that. This is far down the starting list. I have a lot of other stuff that I need to do first. Need to do. You know what I mean. While I was there, I also got fabric for this. Now, this was a Mother's Day gift for me from my husband and kids. And I got, actually, I might have had this one already. Oh, yeah, I had this one already because it's got the 1, 2, 3 stitch. But it's Newcastle linen and flax, and I've got the flosses for it there. I think I got the fabric for this there, and this is crinkle, crinkle, crinkle. Yes. Do I remember what this is? No. 28 count something. Feels like a gel blend. So I got that while I was there. My pile. Nope, that I already had. Okay, then while I was there this last time, I got more fabric. Okay, so this is a 22 count piece from Colorscapes, which was a dyer I had not heard of before. So this is Colorscapes. This is gray with a little bit of like, it's got some pink and some dusty purple in the gray. And that is for a project for my husband where I have charted him a BattleTech logo. Don't ask. It has to do with the many, many tiny little robots that he likes to paint. I don't have any idea what this is for. That might have just been stash acquisition. Stash acquisition's a hobby, right? Like that's a hobby in and of itself. Yeah. And then I got some more linen, and I think this is just regular white shield linen, and I am not super happy with this because it is very thin, like it's very thin and it's very stiff and it's 40 count. I might use it for Christmas ornaments, I think. So then, do I remember what these are for? No. I don't remember what I got those for either. So, my second trip, I got the other Christmas Songbird series. So this is, I also bought the same fabric, the Weichelt 32 count linen in Star Sapphire. And I also got now this one was charted for Classic Colorworks, and no, this one was charted for Gentle Art Sampler Threads, so I went ahead and got those as well. So, I told you the Digital Pink Heart was for my June cross stitch camp. I'm going to do, I think, Mary as my July, because I have not done anything by Carriage House Samplers before. I am losing stuff, y'all. Okay, and that, which reminds me that I think for my August, where you use a floss or something, I'm gonna just restart this one, but I'm going to use Petite Treasure Braid to give it the sparkle that I want. So I got this there too. I actually got several, I got a couple of Petite Treasure Braids because, okay, wait a minute. Cross Stitch Camp, August. Thing I've never used before. I usually use Krynic. I'm gonna use this. Okay. I bought these and a skein of DMC Etoile in $6.99 because, where is it? See, this is what happens when even your plan is not plan. What plan? Okay, seriously? Ah. Yes, I'm making faces. In this Art Nouveau, there is this piece. It's Tiffany inspired. It's got parakeets. We all know that I have a thing for brightly colored birds. Oh my gosh, y'all. I have a bird feeder in the backyard now, and I have a mated pair of cardinals that is getting super fat. Of course, they might just be fluffing out their feathers because it's so dadgum hot. But I have a mated pair of cardinals, and I have a black crested titmouse that come and visit all the time. It makes me smile every time. Anyway, brightly colored birds. We know Emily likes these. But the thing is that there are 3 colors of DMC light effects in these wings. I hate DMC light effects. I don't know anybody who has liked working with them at all. So what I did was I tried to pick out some Petite Treasure Braid that would be close to it, that I could blend with the colors. And then this DMC Etoile it's $6.99, and so I thought, well, maybe I can use that. I don't know. This seems, I don't know. The Etoile seems really, really fuzzy. And I get that, you know, that's kind of how it's supposed to be. I'm just, people seem to love it, so I thought I'd give it a try. Whenever I get there, which is a while. And I'll do that on 28 count even weave. Okay. So that's what I got there. This bag of stuff is just stuff from 1, 2, 3 Stitch that I've ended up with. Yeah. Oh, that's not all what I got there, because I also got this. So this is a Quaker Christmas by Bygone Stitches, and it is charted in 3 Classic Colorworks colors, and I decided I don't want to do that. I am going to do a bunch of red and greens, And then I have one yellow. So let me show these off here for a second. So again, I did this in Classic Colorworks and Gentle Arts. And I just have a selection, and I'm just gonna be doing what kind of feels right to me, and we'll see how it goes. So there you can see all the different threads. And that gold leaf, the yellow, is for the angel and the stars and stuff. And I actually started this last night. I've been wanting to start it since the moment I got it. And so I have a start on the very first motif. And this, okay, that's about right. That's about right. So this again is Colorscapes. This is a 22 count Colorscapes in the colorway Conifer. And again, I'd never used the Colorscapes. It's so soft. Like the fabric is so soft. It was really kind of surprising how soft it was. I like it a lot. I think it's cool. Now, let's see. What else? Actually, I think that's it. I've made a mess everywhere, but I think that's it. So this is going to be my longest episode to date. Now, I also have to decide, what am I taking to Kentucky with me? Well, I don't know. Because, you know, the truth is, am I going to have time to stitch in Kentucky? Almost assuredly not. Am I going to take it anyway? Yeah, because that's what I do. So one thing I think I might take is this. So this is the Quaker Medallion from Modern Folk Embroidery, and as you can see, it's almost finished. I just have to do the inside. Finish doing the inside. The outside here is in Gentle Arts Current, and then this is DMC 3750. And if I had had the Leo and Roxy in Royale when I got it, I'd have done it in that. So I thought about doing this. And then somewhere I have a Quirky Quaker by Darling and Whimsy. And again, I'll try to link this below. And I have the ladybug, the little ladybug for Katybug. And so I think I'm gonna do it on the other half of this, which is a 40 count linen by Picture This Plus in pewter. So I think I'm gonna take the other half and I'm gonna do the little ladybug. So I think I'm gonna do that. And then I think what I will do is I will take this with me, and I will take the threads that I picked out for this Liz Matthews piece, which this Liz Matthews piece, it says All Hallows Eve on the bottom. I'm not gonna put that there. I'm just gonna do the pumpkin. But I think I'm gonna take these, that's why I got the acorn, the Gentle Arts acorn too, which is here. Yeah, I think that's why I got that too. Possibly also that gold leaf. So I think I'm gonna take these orangey and fallish colors and do this. So I think I might take that with me too. Those are my plans. Will my plans actually take place? It's me, who knows? But I hope you guys are having a great week, month, year, and that things keep going smoothly. Do give us good thoughts and prayers while we're on the road, if you don't mind. Other than that, be kind to somebody. That includes yourself.